Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Mursalim from Big B, the 6th semester. And today, I would like to present my article about error analysis. So, the title of my article is an analysis students' prepositions error in using in, on, and at by 11th grade of Palopo. Okay, the first is about background of my article. Using English in written and spoken language can influence the transmissions of message. As learners of English as a foreign language, students should understand the grammatical aspects such as the use of verbs, noun, adjectives, articles, prepositions, gerund, and so on. Error and mistakes are similar but different. Both are the natural in learning language. However, mistakes can be corrected by the learners or students, but while errors, no. It means that errors give more serious effect to the improvement of learners' language ability. The incorrect use of prepositions will influence the quality of message from the speaker to listener or from the writer to the reader. Each preposition has its own function and cannot be replaced. Okay, the next is literature review. The first is definition of error analysis. Error analysis is a procedure that attempts to analyze second language data, which begins the errors that learners make and attempts to explain them by using the target language as the point of comparison. The second literature review is error versus mistakes. To distinguish between error and mistakes, Alice in Lawrence suggests two ways. The first one is to check the consistency of learners' performance. If he sometimes uses the correct form and sometimes wrong form, it is a mistake. But however, if he always uses incorrectly, it is an error. The second way is to ask learners to try to correct his own deviant utterance. Where he is unable to, the deviation are errors. Where he is successful, they are mistakes. The third is preposition in, on, and at. The first preposition in. In is usually used to state someone or something is in the boundaries can be physical or virtual place. In general, we use in for an enclosed space. In addition, talk about time like month, year, season, and part of days. The second is a preposition on. On usually used to state someone or something is on top of surface. In general, on use on for a surface on the wall, on the floor, on the door, on the cover, a street, a desk. In addition, talk about time, days, date, or big days. The last is preposition at. At is usually used to state something or someone is at a specific place. In the generally, we use at for a point at the corner, at the bus stop, at the station, at the top of page, at the end of the road. In addition, talk about time like o'clock or situation. So the next is about methodology. This research employed qualitative research methodology in order to find student prepositions errors in using in, on, and at. According to the Wikipedia, qualitative research is a kind of research that relies on unstructured or on and non-numerical data. The data might take from a field notes written by the researcher in the course of observations, interviews, audio or video recording carried out by the researcher in natural settings, or interview, documents of various kinds, or publicly available or personal, paper-based or electronic. Okay, we next to the result of my article. The research finds shows that misuse occur between in, on, and at the response of the students, which indicate that they lacked information about the use of preposition. However, some students have been given the ability to use prepositions in tests, which means they have a good ability to determine which preposition should be used appropriately in some conditions. In fact, some of students did the error using preposition, whether in preposition in, on, at, of, etc. Therefore, the students confuse choosing the right prepositions because of the second language learner preposition can be perceived as one of the difficult topics to be mastered. Students generally look up the meaning of an unknown word and they find the English equivalent. But because of their low-level proficiency, they may not know the rule that certain verbs require a preposition. Therefore, they may fail to use appropriate prepositions when they are necessary. And the last is conclusion. Based on the research, the preposition in, on, and at cause the most frequent errors. It was found that the error made by the subject were caused by several factors. The first is ignorance of the students in distinguish between each function of the and the usefulness of the preposition in, on, and at. The second, the lack of knowledge in the preposition in, on, and at. The third, the difference between English and Indonesian preposition in, on, and at. So, the key to this problem is the fact that students always resort the literature translation before they form English patterns. In other words, they translate the English into Farsi and the Farsi back to English, word for word, not phrase by phrase. Okay, I think enough about my article, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.